What is going on, guys? It's your boy Rob, the Filipino Fisher, and today we're talking about worms. Now, I know it's been a while since I posted my last video. Things kind of get in the way, life, work, whatnot, but let's get it started. Like I said, we're going to be talking about worms, Senkos, dinger worms, whatever you want to call them. They're the soft plastics that a lot of people use as their go-to lure. So today we're going to be actually testing out 4 different types of worms. We're going to be testing out Yum, dinger worms, and watermelon seed, Strike King, the Shim E stick, and watermelon black flake, Gary Yamamoto, Senko's green pumpkin with black flake. Last but not least, the Z-Man, Zinker Z's Canada Crawl. Now I tried sticking with all relatively the same color. I doubt that makes any sort of a difference, but it's the color that I actually enjoy fishing with. That's what we're going to be doing the review on. So. Okay, first up is the dinger worm from Yum. It is an 8-pack you get. It's the 5-inch dinger worm. I personally have used these. I actually like using these. They're a great value. I got them at my Walmart for $2.96. It's an 8-pack, like I said. This is one of my favorite colors. It's green with a watermelon flake. Reason why I like Yum is when I rigged them, Texas rigged, they have this little, let me try to show you here, this little pocket here that you can put the hook, the end of the hook in, and it actually makes it a little bit more, weedless when you're pitching it into that heavy cover where the guys are. Like I said, $2.96, you can't beat the price. It holds up fairly well. It's very elasticy. It, well, I'll show you when it goes into the water. But that is your Yum dinger worm. Okay, the next one we got going is the Strike King, the Shim E stick. It's a 7-pack. I got it at my local Walmart for $2.96. Same price as the Yum. You get one less. It does not have that pocket like the Yum has, but it does feel a little tougher than the Yum. It is a 5-inch worm, just like all the other ones that I'm going to be trying out. That's the Shim E stick from Strike King. Okay, the next one is going to be the Gary Yamamoto Custom Baits 5-inch Senkos. Yama Senko, it says right there. But Senkos in green, pumpkin, black flake. These used to be my absolute favorite ones to go with, mainly because they have such great action in the water. Why is there a hair in there? Anyways, this is what it looks like close up. It is super soft. I feel like I can tear it just by pulling on it right here. But the action in the water, you cannot beat these guys on. They are a 10-pack. At my local Walmart, I bought them for $6.27, so you get 10 instead of 8 or 7. Again, Gary Yamamoto. Okay, last but not least, we got the Z-Man Zinker Z Canada Crawl 5-inch. I got them at Walmart for $6.27. It's a 10-pack. Just kidding, it's a 6-pack. $6.27 for a 6-pack. But they're soft plastics, super elastic. They just stretch and stretch and stretch and stretch. They have a great look to them. This is the Canada Crawl, so it's got some red flake, some gold in there. Just the way they make their soft plastics is phenomenal. They just don't break like the other Senkos or the other worms do. So again, 6-pack. I got them for $6.27. Nope, $6.50. Just kidding. At my local Walmart, and we will try these guys out in the tank. All right, guys. I got the tank set up outside. Can you hear that? These are very angry birds. We've got the tank set up outside, mainly because my wife would kill me if I spilled all this inside. First test is going to be wacky rig. We're going to go with the Yum first. the dinger worm. I hooked it up. I've actually hooked it up to my son's little Dock Demon pole, wacky style. Let's see how it goes. All right, so first impressions, we're in about a foot of water here, and the fall rate is actually pretty good. The action on it, it's got a lot of wiggle. So wacky style, I would say out of 5, I'd give this a 4. Not bad at all. It's got a nice wiggle to it. There it goes. So Yum. Again, very nice wiggle. Great fall rate. And that's the Yum Dinger. Next one up to bat is the Strike King Shim-E Stick. Again, same thing. Hooked it right in the middle for a wacky style rig. Let's see here. Now, right off the bat, I would say it's got a better fall rate than the Yum. I don't know, you guys decide. You guys be the judges. But it definitely feels like it's got a better fall rate than the Yum Dinger. It's got quite a wiggle to it. And this is the Strike King Shim-E Stick. The next one I got going is the Gary Yamamoto Senkos. I do have to say, putting in this hook into this thing, it feels tremendously softer than the rest of them. It just goes in like butter, so it's kind of concerning. If you're using this in a wacky style, I'm pretty sure this is going to rip out very easily. I mean, not pretty sure, I've used them as wacky and they do rip out very easily. But let's see how they look like in the water. Now this, what I loved about using these guys is their fall rate is, I would say, is a lot faster. It's pretty fast. You get them out there and it just sinks. I feel like it's denser than the rest of them. So it's just getting to that, going down a lot faster, I feel. It's got a lot of wiggle. It's wiggling the whole way down. But that is the Gary Yamamoto. Can't beat that. Nice wiggle. That's what it looks like. Okay, Gary Yamamoto. Okay, last but not least, we got the Z-Man Zinker Z Canada Craw. Tough little bait right here. Let's see what it looks like. Looks like it floats a lot slower. It has awesome action in the water though. I'm barely pulling this up and it's just cars everywhere. I'm so sorry guys. And it is just, the action on it I really like. It's got a lot of wiggle. A lot of wiggle, and it's just, I don't know, I might have my favorite one right here. Even when it fell on the ground, it gave that little bloom bloom. That little extra wiggle once it falls, hits some rocks. Very nice. Zinker Z-Man. Okay, the next test we're gonna do is the Texas rig. I've got my setup here, let me show you. I've just got a little bullet weight here. I forget what, I think it's like 1/8 ounce. And this hook that I just got from Honey Hole Fishing. They sent me 10 hooks to beta test. And this is what they look like. It's a 4/0 hook. So this is gonna be my first time trying these guys out on my, I'm not even gonna be catching any fish, but you know, see how they work out on Texas rigging. So first one up is going to be the Yum Dinger Worms. Now this is what I'm talking about. The hook gets buried, see? You try to make it as straight as possible. And then the hook here gets buried. It's like a weedless hook. And when the fish take it, hook pops out. I do like that about the Yums. I don't like how oily they feel. They feel kind of oily right here. Compared to the other ones, they're really oily. I don't know if that's the salt, chemicals they use to put it in, but they've got this like oily feel to them. So this is the test for Texas rig worm. Now it sticks up for just about a second, and then it falls. I do like the action on it. It does look good. And that's what the fish will be looking at. I wish it stood up a little bit more for a little longer, but that's what they look like underwater. The Yum Dinger Worm. Okay, next one we got is the Strike King Shim-E stick. Got it hooked up. Now what I like to do with these guys, with all of my Senkos or dinger worms or whatnot, is I take a tip of the hook and I kind of bury it just kind of a little bit into the worm, just so it's a little bit more weedless when you go chucking them into the weed line. They don't get caught up. That's what I like to do. All right, let's see what they look like. All right, initial drop, I really like that. It just, see how it sticks up? Look at that. It gives a pause for a second and then floats down. I like that. Very nice action in the water. I actually really like that. It's not as oily as the Yum bait. It seems to flutter and then kind of sink, which just like that is that's what I'm looking for in a stick bait or a dinger worm or whatever you want to call it. Senko. Just like that. Okay, that's the Strike King. Okay, so the Yamamoto's on. It honestly was a lot easier to put on this guy this hook, than the rest of them. I don't know why, it's just the plastic seems a lot softer than the other guys. Again, not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing, but I think that it'll tear a lot easier than the other guys. Well, I know it'll tear a lot easier than the other guys. I've tried them. So let's see how they look in the underwater. Okay. It's a party going on across the street, I think. Okay. Now this just seems like it's a lot heavier. I guess denser, I would say. It has good action, but it seems more stiff, right? Am I right? I don't know. I feel like it's more stiff. It doesn't seem to stay vertical and then drop like how I like it. It just seems to flatten out. Oh, that one did it. But that is the Gary Yamamoto worm. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, next one up, guys, is the Z-Man Zinker Z. Putting this guy on, I have to tell you, it definitely feels like, I don't know what they do, I think it's witchcraft, but it definitely feels like a different type of material, rubber or plastic or whatever they use. It feels more like rubber than it does plastic, but Z-Man Zinker Z definitely feels tougher. So let's see what... Oh, I like that. Took a second for it to... Let's see if we can... See how it just... It's got more of a bounce. And then a flutter down. Bounce, bounce, and then a flutter down. I like that. Seems like every single time. Okay, so Z-Man Zinker Z. Conclusion time. My winner would have to be the Z-Man Zinker Z. They outperformed. Plastic, if you can even call it plastic, feels more rubbery than anything. It's witchcraft, if you ask me. I don't even know what they put in there. It just feels more of a durable plastic than the rest of the guys. You got 6 in a pack. Sure, they're like 6 something, but definitely worth the buy. I think that they're gonna stay on the hook a lot longer than the rest of these guys. And that is my winner. My second runner-up, I would have to say, is the Yum. Only reason why I like these guys a lot more than the other guys is you can't beat an 8-pack. They have that little pocket to make them even more weedless. I love that. They've got a fairly tough plastic that they use. So that is my second choice. My third choice is the Strike King. Again, $296 or whatever it is, $290 something. You can't beat that. It comes 7 in a pack. The only reason why these guys aren't on top of the Yum is because they don't have that little pocket. I like that weedless pocket that they got. They feel like a very strong plastic. Not as strong as the Z-Man, but they feel like a tough plastic. You can get a couple casts out of them. Gary Yamamoto, my last pick. They're expensive. They're very soft plastic. They feel denser, which is good because you can get them into those spots quicker. Probably chuck these guys a lot further, but just not worth the price to me. Very soft plastic. Now, I'm probably gonna get a lot of flack for that because I know there's a lot of people out there that love these worms. And don't get me wrong, if it works for you, it works for you. But for me, it doesn't. I've used these worms a lot, and I used to love these worms, but I was going through a pack of them, a pack and a half every fishing trip. They're way soft. I'm not sure if I was just doing them wrong or whatnot, but I was just doing a normal Texas rig or a normal, oh, forget it. If you put them on a wacky style, forget it. These things are getting ripped off. But I was losing a worm probably every fish I would catch. So again, they're a 10 pack. If you like them, great. For me, they're probably my, they're at the bottom of the barrel for me, for value wise and everything else. So that is it for me, guys. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that like, give me some comments. Thanks again for watching. God bless.